It's John Venezia of RotoWire, and we're talking 4 sleeper wide receivers you need on your fantasy team in 2025. Ricky Pearsall, San Francisco 49ers. This is sort of a new regime here for the 49ers. Yes, Kyle Shanahan retains as the head coach and the play caller, but here's the thing. We know San Francisco lost Deebo Samuel. That was one of their main primary weapons for the last 5+ years. With Deebo down at Washington and Brandon Ayuk recovering from a torn ACL when we don't know he's going to truly be back at full strength, Ricky Pearsall has a very good chance to operate as the go-to wide receiver with Juwan Jennings in the mix as well. Pearsall only played 11 games last year, tallied 31 catches for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. But the fact is, there's going to be a lot of vacated targets, especially early in the season as Ayuk works his way back in. And even though George Kittle is still the main focus of this offense in the pass game, you need Ricky Pearsall to step up if you're the San Francisco 49ers. That's why you drafted him as high as you did. He's a physical freak at the wide receiver position. And the fact is, you're getting him around a 121 ADP or so you're going to get him in the early double-digit rounds. This is somebody that can definitely be a useful acquisition for you in your fantasy drafts this summer, and definitely somebody that I would probably look as primarily as a bench wide receiver or maybe a flex depending on the matchup. Next, we're going to go with Rashod Bateman for the Baltimore Ravens. Solid campaign in 2024, 45 catches, 756 yards, and a career-high 9 tutties. I would expect that target share to increase from 72 last year upwards to 100+ in 2025. He built more trust with Lamar Jackson and this Ravens offense, coming up with a lot of big plays. Yes, there was some sporadic performances. A lot of times Ravens were blowing teams out and the game flow dictated more of a run-heavy game script. But I think Rashod Bateman has finally found his footing last year, and that's only going to continue the trajectory upwards. Zay Flowers is still the wide receiver 1 in this offense, and even the acquisition of DeAndre Hopkins is not something that I see as a huge interference with Rashod Bateman's potential to continue being a fantasy asset. Again, we're talking about somebody that's around 132 ADP in Yahoo Fantasy leagues currently. So expect him somewhere around the 13th or 14th round. That could be somebody that will be a sleeper for you later on throughout the year as well. If you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And right now, RotoWire is going to give you 15% off of any product on RotoWire.com. For the fantasy football season, you're going to be getting access for those premium tools, rankings, and draft kit here on RotoWire.com. So make sure you use code YouTube15 at checkout. Let's go with the blast from the past here. Cooper Kupp Daddy, now with the Seattle Seahawks returning home to the great state of Washington. It was a down year for Kupp, marred with some injuries. He only played 12 games with Matthew Stafford and the Rams, tallying 67 catches for 710 yards and 6 tutties. But it's a new era in Seattle here. Sam Darnell came in coming off a monster career season in Minnesota. Clint Kubiak is the new offensive coordinator, and he's coming in saying he's going to run a balanced attack, both with the run and the pass game. Papa DK Metcalf, he's out. Tyler Lockett, he's out. It's the JSN Cooper Kupp show in the pass game for the Seahawks this year. The biggest question is, can Cooper Kupp stay healthy? He's getting up there in age, so we're not going to be expecting the 2021 Triple Crown winner Cooper Kupp, but we're going to be expecting somebody that can be a real good wide receiver 4 in an offense that should continue to air the ball out, especially with Kubiak coming out saying he wants to make sure his team is efficient and effective in drop-back pass situations. I think Cooper Kupp, his ability to work in the slot and out of the slot is something that will benefit greatly this offense. So I think Kupp is definitely worth a shot at his current 107 ADP in your fantasy leagues this summer. He'll be flirting around double-digit rounds as well. So make sure you take a shot on Kupp, because if he stays healthy, wouldn't be a strange thing to see him have another 1,000-yard season to his resume. Last but not least, we're going to go with the guy who had a breakout year in Atlanta. That's Darnell Mooney. 64 catches, 992 yards, and 5 tutties for the Dirty Birds. He went 80 yards or better in 7 of 16 contests. I'm excited about a lot of these Falcons for fantasy in 2025. It's the first year with Michael Penix as the full-time starter. He's had a full offseason to work with the starters' reps. And I think Darnell Mooney operating as the wide receiver 2 on this Falcons team is only going to mean great things. Drake London is probably going to continue to progress and, merge into that true wide receiver 1 alpha. But Darnell Mooney is going to be able to get a lot of opportunities here. I think the fact is, with Mooney having a really good starter season in Atlanta last year, it's going to be something that we're going to see him progress on in 2025. So make sure Darnell Mooney is a part of your fantasy plans in 25. He's currently around 131, 132 ADP along with Rashod Bateman. And this is somebody that you can probably get somewhere between the 11th and 13th round in your fantasy league this year.